Hi folks, this is Max from Nexus7root.com. So today I'm going to show you how to unbrick your Nexus 7. You will be able to do this on Windows, Mac, or Linux. I have all the files for them. You just got to follow directions, and I advise you to do this when you have a lot of free time. That way you can follow step by step, and don't try to rush when you do these things. And take it slow, one step at a time, and just watch the video. Do it, pause it, and keep doing it. I think that's the best way. Very easy to do. First, this will basically restore your stock ROM. That's the first step we're going to do. And then the second step, we're going to actually lock the bootloader. Now, the first step will restore your stock factory Nexus 7 ROM. And the version I have here will get you to one of the earlier versions. Now, you can always do a software update by going into settings after you restore the stock system. Go to settings and about tablets, and you can hit system updates to update it afterwards. So let's go ahead and restore the stock Nexus 7 system here. And also, if you want to lock the bootloader, it will erase everything in your internal storage. So go ahead and make a backup of everything on your internal storage if you want to get it completely back to stock. Maybe you're returning it for warranty. So let's do this. First, what you want to do is go ahead and hold down the power button and power off your Nexus 7. Alright, and once it's powered off, we're going to boot into bootloader mode. You're going to hold down the volume down here and the power button when it powers down. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and hold down the volume down and the power button until you see this thing right here. And here, you're going to simply connect it to your computer using a micro USB cable. Again, you can use Linux, Mac, or Linux. Alright, and let's go to our computer. Next, you're going to download two files, fastboot.zip and the actual Nexus 7 stock image file. You can download the one I have here, or you can also download off the Google servers. Google has factory Nexus 7 stock images. It comes in tar.gz format. You can use, I think 7-zip, you can use that to unzip it. And here we go. So I've got unzipped both files. So I have a folder called Fastboot in my downloads folder. Most likely there for you too. And also I've got a folder called Nakasi blah blah with a bunch of letters. And inside it there's also a folder called Nakasi. And inside there it has the stock files I need. The first one, bootloader-grouper.img. This is the bootloader, and also the image Nakasi jr003d.zip. That's the actual stock image file. Go ahead and copy both of these two files. Simply drag it to your fastboot folder, okay? And we're all ready to go. And if you have a different version of the stock files, you can copy those over. You can actually use this method also on other Galaxy Nexus devices like Galaxy Nexus, Nexus 7. Pretty much exactly same thing, but probably different file name. Once you got those copied over, you want to make sure you have driver installed if you're using Windows. For Linux or Mac, you do not need drivers. So go ahead and open up Device Manager in your Windows, and make sure you have something like Android bootloader interface there. If you don't, go ahead and install the drivers. Also have driver link to it below. You can update the one with exclamation mark. If you don't know how to do that, just Google it. So once you've got the drivers installed for Windows, go ahead and open up a command prompt by typing cmd in the search. Or for Linux or Mac, you can open up a terminal. If you don't know how, please Google it. Next, what you're going to do is type cd space downloads, and then type cd space fastboot. That's where you unzip all the files, and also all your files are there now. Next, you're going to type fastboot space flash space bootloader space bootloader, and then you're going to enter the name of the bootloader file that you copied over, which is this one up here, bootloader blah blah .img. It may be different if you're installing another version of the stock ROM, but if you're using the one I have here, you can just enter it. What you can do is, one of the secrets of this thing is, you can type like the first 4 characters and hit the tab key on your keyboard, and it'll actually fill it in for you exactly the file name, so you don't make any mistakes. So once you have that, simply hit enter. Alright, and that will flash the bootloader you need for this stock image. Alright, and that should say OK. Now if for some reason you get some kind of error, what you can do is go ahead and go down to restart bootloader and hit the power button. Alright, and try it again. Sometimes it will give you error. To fix it, all you have to do is reboot bootloader. And actually the next step is actually to reboot bootloader. So next we're going to type fastboot space reboot dash bootloader. Alright, and this will reboot your Nexus 7. The reason why we do this after we flash something, usually you'll want to reboot and flash the next one. Next, type fastboot. Also for Mac or Linux, you just have to type /fastboot-mac. Also you can add sudo in front like that. Replace all fastboot commands with that. And also for Linux, it's going to be fastboot-linux. So for all the commands. So next we're going to type fastboot space -w space update space image blah blah.zip. So you can type image and then hit tab and it will fill it in for you, whatever stock image you're installing there. And hit enter. And this will install the your stock image here. Alright, and this should take about 5 minutes. So I'll be back when this is done. Let me just explain what's happening here for those of you who don't know. It's the boot is the boot image. That's also called the kernel. And here's the recovery. That's the recovery, the stock recovery. So if you had Clockwork My Recovery, this is going to overwrite with the stock recovery. And the system is actually the stock ROM. So it's installing. It actually took 53 seconds there to copy it over. And now it's actually writing the system to your Nexus 7. So it will be restored with the stock ROM. Now it's there's also ways you can do it a little bit easier, but I highly recommend actually using the commands. That way you learn a little bit about Android, and also if something goes wrong, I can help you. I know exactly what you're doing wrong, versus like using a toolkit. The problem is if something goes wrong, it's hard to debug what's going on, what went wrong. Also, you don't learn anything by using those. But if you're doing fine, you can use those fine also. So it's almost done, and that was pretty simple to do. That was just a couple commands, and you get a hit out of it by your first successful unrooting Nexus 7. So it's it makes it more fun. Anyway, now it's done. It's doing a bunch of stuff. Don't worry about it. Now it's rebooting. Now here's the last thing we're gonna do. Let me show you that. Let me change the camera angle here real quick. Hi folks, so once your Nexus 7 has rebooted, go ahead and actually go through the signing process and go ahead and do that first. Alright, I'm just going to skip all of this. I just connected to just to my Wi-Fi. This is because it's got to initialize, otherwise we might not be able to get into the stock recovery. So there we go. Here you can actually stop here if your goal was just to get your stock ROM back on your Nexus 7. But if you want to return it for warranty purposes, go ahead and keep following. Basically, we're going to do another additional factory reset and also lock the bootloader. So go ahead and turn off your Nexus 7 again and power off. And then go ahead and let it power off. And we're going to go into the stock recovery. So go ahead and hold down the volume down and the power button. And wait. Once you're in a bootloader, go ahead and plug it back to your computer, alright? And let's go back to our computer. Next, go ahead and type fastboot. Whoops, go back to the command prompt and type fastboot space OEM space lock and hit the enter button. And this will lock your bootloader and also erase all your contents in your internal storage. As I said in the beginning of the video, please do make a backup of everything before you do this. So when that's done, you take it out. Oops. Yeah, it's locked now. Don't worry about it. I just took the cable out. It should say locked, as you can see there. It should say locked. Alright. And go ahead and hit start. Hit the power button to start your Nexus 7. And now it should be completely back to factory. Now, if for some reason your tablet doesn't boot up after locking the bootloader, this can happen. Here's how to fix it, or at least my attempt to fix it. Go ahead and hold down the power button and the volume down. Hold it down until your screen goes off. Alright, hold it down. I'll give it a second here. And let go of the power button and hit it again. And this will enter you back into the bootloader. So what we're going to try to do is connect it back to our computer and do some more commands to get our tablets running again. So let's go to our computer. Next, go back to the command prompt and we're going to relock the bootloader, or actually unlock it and then relock it. The reason is that sometimes things get kind of iffy when you unroot it and lock the bootloader. So to fix the boot loops, I found that if you simply lock it, so I'm going to do, unlock it. So type fastboot OEM unlock and hit the enter button and choose yes and hit the power button. And this will actually unlock your bootloader, and we're simply going to relock it after. Alright, and that's usually does the trick. I don't know why this happens on the Nexus 7, but I had to do this to get out of the boot loop after unrooting. So it should say it's unlocked now. It's unlocked. So we're going to relock it again. Fastboot OEM lock. Alright. And then this will relock it, and we're going to reboot, and hopefully it will be fine, and we'll be all good to go. Alright, and go ahead and hit start button now. And now your Nexus 7 should be completely back to stock. Should boot, hopefully here. And we should be all good to go. Let me change the camera angle. So I finally got my Nexus 7 booting. So if you're going to lock your bootloader, definitely just lock it, unlock it, and lock it if you have trouble booting it. Or actually, unlock it and relock it. And that usually clears everything up. And there we go. And once you see the start screen, your Nexus 7 should be completely back to stock, even the internal storage completely wiped, just like the day you got it. Anyway, this is how you unroot and unbrick your Nexus 7. And if you have a Nexus 7, don't forget to sign up for my email list at nexus7root.com. We update you once a week with ROM of the Week, tips, hacks, and more. And also, it's a great way for you to get in contact with me and others if you have trouble with your Nexus 7. And if you're on YouTube, please hit that like button for me here before you forget. And also subscribe to my channel here at Nexus 7 Root. We show you how to do root, unroot, custom ROMs, and all that good stuff. And always stay high on Android. And we'll give it a second here just so it boots up to the welcome stream. There you go. And all done. And stay high on Android, and see y'all later.